How has this show changed the way you treat people?
It's made me a lot more aware of other people's feelings, and not everybody knows what everybody else is going through.
How has this show affected you emotionally?
It made me really sad watching it, and it made me realize that people actually go through this in real life, and it's not just like some fictional thing.
How has this show changed the way you treat people?
I think it made me treat people better because I don't want them to end up like Hannah.
How has this show affected you emotionally?
So because I don't want them to end up like Hannah, I feel like I'm more emotionally careful for other people's feelings.
How has this show changed the way you treat people?
It's made me really think about like what I say to people, and like sometimes when I'm like, go kill yourself to a friend, which is not okay to say, like I just like think about it and like if they actually killed themselves, that'd be like terrible.
How has this show affected you emotionally?
It's made me like think about how to be like a better person, and like like think twice about what you say before someone actually goes and does something that would be your fault and like affect you later on.
How has this show changed the way you treat people?
Well, after watching the show, I value being nice to people even more, since I really don't know like what people are going through.
How has this show affected you emotionally?
Well, after seeing that scene in the last episode of Hannah, it made it seem really realistic, and it shows how like the little things can affect.
How has this show changed the way you treat people?
After watching the show, it just like really opened my eyes to how people like you could do something to someone that may seem insignificant, but to them they may hold a grudge and like blame you for something super significant, like committing suicide or just like being depressed or something like that.
How has it affected you emotionally?
It just like also opened my eyes to the fact that like after people commit suicide, like things may end for them, but like for people around them, they're still like really sad, and like they may blame themselves and like feel really guilty, especially if you blame everything on them.
Show changed the way you treat people.
This show's like really affected me in how I treat people, because some words you think don't affect somebody, but it could like affect their whole mood, like their whole day. So it's just really a matter of like thinking before you say it.
How has it affected you emotionally?
This show is like completely wrecked like every emotion ever. Just like you always think somebody's gonna help Hannah, but it never happens, and Jeff deserves better.
How has this show changed the way you treat people?
It really hasn't changed the way I treat people, mostly because I see the show as they're using a girl's suicide as entertainment, and basically like the whole show is based around a revenge fantasy, and that's not really what suicide is, and it's not what it should be, and I just think that the show is very negative.
How has this show affected you emotionally?
So the show has affected me emotionally. I guess it kind of fired me up, like how this show like portrays suicide in that manner, and it's kind of frustrating to see that in the show this girl is actually in the show after she commits suicide. Like she's the narrator, you see her in the scenes, and that's not like, that kind of gives people the wrong message that after suicide like you get to see how people respond, you get to go to your funeral, and like that's not true at all. Suicide is a really final thing. You don't get to see anything that happens afterwards.
How has this show changed the way you treat people?
I think it really made me realize that you don't know what people are going through, so to treat everyone with respect and be nice to everyone, because one little thing can really make a huge impact on a person, whether negative or positive.
And how has this show affected you emotionally?
It made me kind of mad that the whole show is about her taking revenge on people, and even though some of them deserve it, I think some really didn't, and it made me kind of feel bad for the ones who had to listen to these tapes, even though what they did wasn't that bad.